Language learners, what do you do when you encounter great books that only have your target language written in them, and that level of that book is pretty challenging for you? It's pretty difficult. I want to give you some recommendations today how you can adapt such a resource to make quicker progress. So my target language is Mandarin Chinese, and I live in China, and I often encounter amazing books from countries all over the world. But typically on the inside, there's only Mandarin Chinese, and the language and the vocabulary is very colorful and very interesting. This one, the original language of the book, the native language of the book, is English. But there's only Chinese characters inside, so what I will do is ask a friend to transcribe the book, and I may pay them some amount. So it's like a gig job for them. So as you can see, my friend wrote out the Chinese characters with the pinyin. So this is like the romanized English version that helps me to learn how to pronounce and read the Chinese characters. So I could have done this by myself, but that would have taken me a very long time because I would have had to look up every character online, find out what is the pinyin, what is the tone, and write it out. Now, if you want to do that, that can be a good form of practice and training. I tend to do that already with interesting words that I encounter in my daily life, is like I'll make a flashcard for them, put them in my flashcard box. But again, with a book like this, which is quite long, that could take me, a long time to do that, and it's not exactly what I want to be practicing. Writing the Chinese characters and also looking up their pinyin online, that isn't exactly how I want to be spending most of my study time, especially since my study time these days is quite limited. So if I give it to a friend whose native language is Chinese and a friend who likes to do this kind of thing, well then, it's a win-win because they get some money, they get some training that way, and they get to, work with me and communicate with me over the book. So we all can learn, we all can practice in that way. Another piece of advice, something I want to point out, is if you've encountered a very great and very famous book like this book is called The Whale Who Wanted More. You usually can find read-alongs online, like for example on YouTube. I can find the English read-along of this book and the English version of this book online. So what I can do is I can watch and read along with the English version and then go back to the Chinese version and practice it. So doing that first sort of warms up my brain, gives me the context, I understand the storyline, and then I can go try to read it in the Chinese by myself. And if I encounter some words that I don't really know, having already heard it once in English will help me through context to figure it out better. I can also listen to the English while I try to read the Chinese and follow along with each page. And as you may already know, you can slow down the YouTube videos so you can slow down their speed a little bit if that helps you. And if the book is very popular, very well known, you can possibly find it in your target language. You can probably find a read-along in your target language online. I haven't tried to do that yet for this book, but I think I will try to do that. So you can listen to someone speak it out loud. Now, you might need to do that on, a website that is from your country's target language. So like for me, maybe I wouldn't look on YouTube for that one, although it might be there. I might look on Chinese internet, Baidu, Bilibili, or maybe even Xiaohongshu would have it or something like that. Because again, if this book is printed in China and Chinese people are snapping it up, there's probably someone doing a little read along of it, for children in Mandarin. So there's a lot of ways to come at, when you find a great resource like this, you got to think about all the different ways you can come at it, all the different ways you can utilize it. Again, maybe for you to write out the transcription could be a part of your practice. For me, that's a place where I actually want to save a little time and energy. I don't really want to do all that by myself. Maybe if there's some words I'm really interested in, I'll make some flashcards for those later. But for me, I want to get into the reading, the pronunciation, and enjoying this book with my daughter, who's 4.5. So to have the transcription is great. You might want to write it inside the book. I like to keep my books in a pristine condition, so I don't really want to write in the book. That's why I have my friend write it on separate paper. But keeping these two stored together carefully will provide years of entertainment and value, not only for myself, but my children too, because in China they do use pinyin to teach and to learn initially before they move to a world where there's only the characters. So my daughter will be able to learn with this too. So think about that. You're adapting the resource. You are actually adding more value to the resource. This is something that you'll be able to use for years to come. So visit your local bookstores, used bookstores, visit libraries, find some excellent resources, and if they're not exactly what you're looking for, think about how you could adapt them. In this case, for me, I'm not able to read this high level of Chinese just yet. I could probably read and understand around 50 to 60% of this book. But through training and through practice, I can level myself up. So I hope this idea helps you. I hope you can find it applicable to your target language, whatever that target language may be. And if you want more fun ideas for how to learn your target language, stick with me here on this channel, because I show a lot of fun ways through books, through games, and really through the culture of the country. I find is the most fun way of all to learn languages and make it more effortless and more unforgettable. Make it something that you truly immerse yourself in, and it's going to be that much easier to stick with over the years that it will require to master that language. Okay, I'll see you back here in the next one. Good luck with your language learning. Bye-bye for now.